So when you get people living in the downtown, then there's the opportunity for activities at night, and that draws your young people in. And one success leads to the other. This is our restored City Hall. It's a 1914 Beaux-Arts building covered in glazed white terracotta. We took it back to all of its original finishes. Archives and History of Mississippi calls this the single most important historic restoration in Mississippi of this decade. That's the last project I did and opened after I left. Also, even mundane things like fire stations can take on a sense of design and prominence in a neighborhood. And they give you the opportunity for great public spaces, small parks. This is Dumont Plaza in downtown Meridian, and of course I generally show this when I'm traveling up north to prove that we actually do get snow. 2 inches every 10 years, and it lasts for, 24 hours. So we know what that is. And then, of course, wonderful spaces for the public to enjoy, and the public does come. I mentioned the obesity. I put the people of Meridian on a diet. I challenged them to lose 10,000 pounds. And they have lost over 9,000. Well, Oprah Winfrey heard about this, and she called and said, in 4 days, I'm coming to downtown Meridian to kick off my national weight loss campaign. Well, now, Oprah doesn't come by herself. She comes with an entourage. So we had 4 days to get ready. That's Oprah downtown at Dumont Plaza. 5,000 overweight women showed up with pledges that they were going to lose this 10,000 pounds. Now, the truth is, I knew about 75 people in Meridian that could take care of the whole 10,000 pounds by themselves, but it was important to share it. The hospitals got engaged. The insurance companies got engaged. Our biggest loser was a bank. Their employees are perhaps the most sedentary in your downtown. They became involved and engaged, and we created some walking paths, biking paths. It was very good for the people of Meridian. But then we took what was an 1890 department store, the Marx Rothenberg building, and adjacent to it, the 1889 Grand Opera House of Mississippi, and we worked to deal with Mississippi State University. Now, I'm an Ole Miss grad, and that was really hard to bring myself to do. But they're engaged in our downtown, and we now have this wonderful conference center for Mississippi State University, and then this is the performance facility. The Opera House was designed by the architects who designed the original Metropolitan Grand Opera House in New York, which was demolished. They also designed the National Theater in Washington, which perhaps you've been to. This is Meridian's theater. You see the lovely double horseshoe balconies. We carried it back to original paint finishes, wall fabrics, floor coverings, just an exquisite facility. And September through May, you can see Itzhak Perlman performing with the Meridian Symphony Orchestra, or the Soweto Gospel Choir, or Wynton Marsalis and the Kennedy Center Orchestra. You can see the Queen's Own Savoyards from London brought their orchestra to perform the Mikado there. Hal Holbrook performed Mark Twain Tonight, came on stage after the performance and said he's performed all over the world, and this would have to be one of his top 2 venues to perform in. You see the kind of energy. No seat is more than 80 feet from center stage there. And that kind of artistic involvement in the downtown. Now Mississippi State University is offering courses there in those downtown facilities. It draws people from all over the region. A gentleman talked to me last night, said he was looking forward to coming to the Meridian Little Theater next week to see the production of Cats there. So if you provide the quality, the catchment area is much, much broader than you may think, and Mobile certainly does this and can do it. But what about housing? This was public housing close to the downtown. I wouldn't want to live there. Would you? I wouldn't want my children to grow up there. I'm not sure how we would behave if we lived there. That was what we faced at public housing. Well, we were the first multimodal transportation center, but we were the last Hope 6 project in Meridian. $17 million of federal money. We grew it to over $60 million of investment with city and county. But look at the homes. Look at the sidewalks, the landscaping, the lighting there. Before I left, we could take a working family, poor working family, and we could put you in a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath home for $70,000. We'd give you a $10,000 down payment assistance if you would work in recognized charities for 5 years. We'd forgive that $10,000 at $2,000 a year. So at the end of the day, you're $60,000 in a home. It's yours. You're the first one of any generation of your family to actually own your own home. And I'm sure pretty sure it's the same in Alabama as it is in Mississippi. People who live in public housing will say, I stay at such and such an address. Well, staying is a transient thing. But you walk down the street there and you talk to the neighbors and the little children too, and they'll say, I live at 916 26th Avenue. And the difference between staying and living is ownership. Ownership in the house, yes, but ownership in the neighborhood, ownership in the future of that community. All of a sudden you're invested and you feel you matter. Transforms a community, providing great spaces for the youth and the children of the community, providing them safe ways to walk to school again. So you create neighborhood from the child's eyes as well. Of course, for Meridian, the transportation choices are small. They're small buses, they're rubber-tired trolleys, but it will connect not only the people in Meridian to each other, but Meridian out to the Navy base, where we train 60% of the strike pilots for U.S. Navy. Transportation was critical to linking the housing, the downtown, the community college, the entertainment facilities. It all ultimately comes back to how you get there. And it's happening all over the country. You see Denver's Union Station, exciting project there that's underway that's giving a whole new life to downtown Denver. Albuquerque's invested in the same way. Pittsburgh is really becoming a jewel of Pennsylvania with what they're accomplishing in a little place like Normal, Illinois. You probably didn't know there was such a place. I didn't. But it's on the line from Chicago to St. Louis. And Normal has just opened a multimodal transportation center there with their government housed within. And you should see what is happening on the side streets in and around Normal, Illinois. The retail activity, the entertainment activity, so exciting. Well, the things I've shared with you today are things that you have to accept aren't going to be completed in a 4-year term, nor 8 years, and perhaps not in a generation. You have to fix your gaze on a point, a distant point in the future that you may not occupy, but is critically important to you. And for me, that future point where I will no longer be present, yet what happens at that future point is critical to me. I find that future point reflected in the eyes of my grandson, Ethan, and his brand new baby brother, Hayden. You see, the decisions we make in Meridian, Mississippi today will determine whether Ethan and Hayden can find their life's dreams in their hometown, in the house their great-grandfather built, or will they have to find life's promise somewhere else? And I think that whole notion of connectivity, one generation to the next, is best captured in the poetry of Vachel Lindsay when he was writing about his hometown of Springfield, Illinois. He reminds us, record it for the grandson of your son. A city is not built in a day. Our little town cannot complete her soul till countless generations pass away. We must have Lincoln-hearted men For a city is not built in a day, and they must come and go and do their work while countless generations pass away. I urge you, I ask you to be Lincoln-hearted and visionary in your commitment to the place you love, the place you call home, Mobile, Alabama. Thank you.